Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on B106 and B106.com from Eddie Underwood Field. It's the visiting Fort Lupton Blue Devils against the Fort Morgan Mustangs, and this game has started a couple of minutes early. Jeff Merritt has taken the first two pitches for balls, and the 2-0 swung on and lifted to right field to his right as Jared Bohm ranges back and makes the one-handed grab. There's one down as Kyle Daniels is on the hill for the Mustangs. We'll set the lineup here for Fort Lupton. Stepping to the plate will be the catcher, Colton McCutcheon. Batting third is the shortstop, Clint Allen. Manny Ledesma, the third baseman, is the cleanup hitter. Isaiah Padilla, the pitcher, hits fifth. First baseman, Alex Record, hits sixth. Devin Garcia, the left fielder, bats seventh. And the pitch swung on and popped foul and out of play by Colton McCutcheon. Second baseman, Lorenzo Antuna, hits eighth. And Ian McPeak, the right fielder, hits ninth. The Mustangs defensively have Wes Anderson at first. Reyes Rodriguez at second. Austin Cosman's at third. In between him at short is Tony Zwedzig. Around the outfield, Juan Aguilar in left. James Blackson in center. Jared Bohms in right. Joey Schneider behind the plate. And Daniels delivers a breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mustangs 9-0 in Colorado 7 league play. 11-5 overall. Fort Lupton 3-6 in the league. 5-11 on the season. 1-1. Breaking ball is right there for a strike down the middle. That moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Weather conditions considerably better than that slight deluge we had on Wednesday in Fort Lupton. The Mustangs won 12-3. The pitch, that one bounced up there. Wow. I don't think I've seen Kyle throw a worse pitch this season. He's been in such control. Trying to throw a waste pitch, slipped out of his hand. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're just underway from Eddie Underwood Field in Fort Morgan. Here's the wind by Daniels, the 2-2. The breaking ball is a little bit low. Oh, he called him out. Okay. Well, that was a delayed call. Called strike 3 on the outer half at the knees. And there's 2 down. 2 down for Clint Allen, the right-handed hitting shortstop for Fort Lupton. The pitch. Curveball is grounded to third. Cosman to his left has it, bobbles, picks it up, throws to first, and that'll be late. And the Mustangs have been struggling with that recently. 5 errors on Wednesday. That's the first error of this game. We're not even out of the first, and that'll extend the inning for Fort Lupton. As Manny Ledesma, the third baseman, is the cleanup hitter, he will step in. Opening pitch today brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Home, Auto, Life, and Health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call. 842-4555. Follow us pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. And the breaking ball is a strike on the outside corner just above the knees. It's 0-1. Good curveball changeup combination for the sophomore Kyle Daniels. Short lead at first by Allen. Now extends. And Daniels goes to first. Nothing doing there. Allen back in. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down, 1 on in the top of the first inning. And the pitch, fastball is outside. That levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. To Manny Ledesma. Daniels stretches at the belt. And he throw to first. And Allen reading that move well against the left-hander. Daniels gets the sign from Joey Schneider, the stretch. And the pitch swung on and grounded right side. The second baseman, Rodriguez, to his left, has got it sidearms to first. And the inning is over. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and a man left. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Fort Lupton is held scoreless, and the Mustangs are coming to bat on B106 and B106.com. Mustang starting lineup brought to you by High Plains Bank, hometown service in a higher plane. That's High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins. For assistance in opening a loan, equity line of credit, or checking account, see what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank at Wiggins. All right, we have some changes to the Mustang lineup, a couple of changes here. Batting first is the pitcher Kyle Daniels. Austin Cosman is now the second hitter. Batting third is Reyes Rodriguez. Wes Anderson's the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth is the center fielder James Blackson. Jared Bohm, the right fielder, hits sixth. Tony Zwedzig at short hits 7. Jared Henderson is now hitting 8th. He's the DH as Chris Anderson not here today, which is why the lineup has been switched a little bit. Joey Schneider, the catcher, will bat ninth. And here's Kyle Daniels. And the fastball is upstairs against the right-hander, Isaiah Padilla. Alex Record at first. Lorenzo Antuna at second. Manny Ledesma is the third baseman. Clint Allen at short. And the 1-0 swung on the line. And that is just inside the third baseline. Devin Garcia got a late jump thinking it might have been foul. Daniels around first. He's into second with a leadoff double. That ball was hit just inside the line. And Daniels has been a very valuable leadoff hitter. Jeff Merritt in center, Ian McPeak in right, Colton McCutcheon behind the plate. And the aforementioned Padilla is on the hill. So the Mustangs threatening already. Here's Austin Cosman. And the pitch and the breaking ball is a little bit high. Daniels came into the game with a .357 average. Cosman hitting .214. But leads the team in home runs. 1-0. Fastball is upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes to the junior third baseman. Fort Morgan with a victory would clinch the Colorado 7 league title for a second straight year. In fact, they're 21-0 in 2 seasons in this league. And the pitch. Fastball, a strike. Down the middle, thigh high. It's 2-1. Mustangs have 2 regular season games remaining. Keep in mind that next Wednesday they'll be at Englewood. That start time will be 4:30 now, not 4:30. Fastball is high, and we'll have it on B106 and B106.com. Then they close out the regular season a week from today at 4 o'clock against Englewood right here in Fort Morgan. 3-1 to Cosman. And the pitch. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner at the knees. That moves the count to 3-2. Daniels off of second. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and foul back on the slow curve. Count remains at 3-2. Daniels led off the inning with a double. The stretch by the right-hander Padilla. And the pitch. Slow curve foul. Tipped into the mitts of the catcher McCutcheon. Cosman strikes out. There's 1 down. That'll bring up Reyes Rodriguez, the Mustang second baseman. Rodriguez hitting .389, and he's driven in 14, which is second on the team behind Jared Bohm. The stretch by Padilla and the pitch. Swing and a tapper foul just behind the plate. Count is at 0-1. Visit Morgan Community College online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. It'll get you on the right track and find out what options can help you. Morgan Community College, the stretch. Padilla with the 0-1. Swung on, grounded up the middle with Daniels running to third on the pitch. He will score easily. Reyes Rodriguez has his 15th run batted in of the year, and the Mustangs lead 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Wes Anderson. Wes looking to have a big game. He was 0 for 5 on Wednesday against Fort Lupton in the Mustangs' 12-3 win. Stepping off is Isaiah Padilla. The pitch. Fastball is just outside. 1 ball and no strikes to the senior first baseman. The stretch by Padilla, 1-0. Took something off at the changeup as a strike. On the outside corner. And that levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. To the left-handed hitting Anderson. 2-step lead, Rodriguez back to first on the throw over there. McCutcheon lays down the sign and the offering. Curveball is up and away. Ball 2, strike 1. Fort Morgan with a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by Reyes Rodriguez. Anderson normally pulls, but if he went to left center field, there's a huge hole. The pitch, runner going, swung on and grounded towards short. Allen is going to go to first, and he'll retire Anderson. And that was just bad luck there by the Mustangs because the second baseman, Antuna, was covering. So 2 down. But that did keep them out of the double play. Here is James Blackston, the center fielder for Fort Morgan. Stepping in from the right side, Blackston hitting .302 on the year. The stretch by the right-hander Padilla, the pitch. Curveball is down and away. Blackston with 14 runs batted in. Has 1 homer so far this year. And the pitch swung on and lifted into left field. Devin Garcia to his left, ranging back, and he makes the catch. And that does it for the Mustangs in the first inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. 1 complete. Fort Morgan 1, Fort Lupton nothing on B106 and B106.com. Isaiah Padilla will begin the second inning for Fort Lupton, the opposing pitcher hitting from the right side against left-hander Kyle Daniels, who did not allow a hit to the opening inning. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on in line, and that's a base hit to begin the second for Isaiah Padilla. So the Blue Devils have their leadoff man on, trailing 1-0. And the batter's Alex Record. Throw back to first. Again, diving is Padilla. Record hitting from the right side. The pitch, the slow curve is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Your one-stop center for home improvement projects, Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. For flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more, Ackley Building Center. The pitch swung on and lifted foul and off to the right and out of play. The count evens at 1-1. The Mustangs, after starting the season 0-3, have won 11 of their last 13 games. Schneider lays down the sign. The stretch. Daniels delivers. The breaking ball is down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. To the right-handed hitting Alex Record. Daniels looking in. And the pitch. Swag and a miss on a changeup, tailing away. 2-2. Mustangs at double play depth. Daniels goes to first, and Padilla's caught between first and second. Anderson throws to the shortstop, and then it's going to be tagged out. No, not yet. Daniels is going to throw to Rodriguez, who completes the tag. So Padilla is picked off 1-3 to 6-1 to 4. That one from Daniels to Anderson to Zwedzig to Daniels. Over to the second baseman, Rodriguez. The pitch, down and away with a changeup. Count moves to 3-2 to Alex Record, 1 down, top of the second inning. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Strikeout number 2 for Kyle Daniels. And there's 2 down in the second. Here is Devin Garcia, who did not get the start, by the way. Hitting from the left side on Wednesday in Fort Morgan's 9-run win. The offering. Changeup is inside. Mustangs, by the way, in their white uniforms with the maroon lettering. Royal blue uniforms for Fort Lupton. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. And Garcia missed that by about 2 feet. And he swung way early. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Curveball is on the inside corner. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Devin Garcia. Wind and pitch. A little bit up and away. 2-2. Daniels delivers. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball down and away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. An inning and a half complete from Fort Morgan. It's the Mustangs 1, the Fort Lupton Blue Devils nothing on B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs lead the Fort Lupton Blue Devils 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. And Jared Bohm will step in against the right-hander, Isaiah Padilla. The pitch, the breaking ball is a little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Fort Morgan with a 1-0 lead. Curveball is down and away again. 2-0. Wind and pitch. Fastball is a strike on the outer half at the knees. Moving the count to 2-1. The offering. Swung on and lined into right field for a base hit. That ball hits a gap. But racing to the ball is Jeff Merritt holding Bohm to a single as the Mustangs have the leadoff man on for the second straight inning for Fort Morgan. It's their 3rd hit of the game already. Here comes Tony Zwedzig. Mustang shortstop hitting .262 on the year. As he bats with a man on and nobody out in the second. The pitch. Squaring to Bunny, missed it. On a high fastball, it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Swedzig back in the box. The stretch by the right-hander Padilla. Squaring to bunt again. And he takes it low and away on the breaking ball. Well, I keep waiting for a delayed call. 1-1. About a 2-step lead for Bohm, now extending to 3. Squaring to bunt, and it bounces into McCutcheon. Yeah, sometimes when you bounce the ball in and you see a batter squaring to bunt as you're delivering, you worry, and you're focused more on the batter than you are on the glove. 2-1. The stretch, runner going, swung on, lined, and off the glove of the shortstop, Allen. If he caught it, it would have been a double play, but instead it's a base hit. A base hit for Tony Zwedzig. Allen was inches away from making that catch, which would have been disastrous for Fort Morgan, but instead, they've got 2 on and Joey Schneider, or check that, Jared Henderson. Yeah, so my lineup must have gone wrong, but that's Henderson stepping in. Squaring to bunt, and he lays it up the third base side, fielded by Padilla, looks to third, throws to first in time with a second baseman covering. An outstanding bunt there by Jared Henderson. And give him the sacrifice. 1-4. And 2 in scoring position now. And now Joey Schneider will step in. The junior catcher hitting from the right side. Hitting .275, the pitch. And the breaking ball is a strike. On the outside corner, thigh high, it's 0-1. Fort Morgan trying to extend their 1-0 lead here in the second inning. Padilla stretches, the pitch. Swung on, tapped right back to the pitcher. Padilla looks at third, throws to first, 2 down. Well, Kyle Daniels is more than capable of getting the job done with 2 outs. He got a base hit to begin the game, a double in the bottom of the first inning, and scored on a single by Reyes Rodriguez. Daniels tearing it up all season, the stretch and the pitch. The breaking ball is outside. You want your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them at your local Napa store, Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. 1-0. Curveball is up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Bohm at third. Zwedzig at second. Padilla gets a sign from McCutcheon. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball is outside. 3-0. And more than likely, Kyle will be taking here. 3-0 outside, and he walks on 4 pitches. There's Austin Cosman, who struck out in his first at bat. As we mentioned, Cosman, the big power hitter on this team, along with Bohm. Wind and pitch, and he takes a curveball for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. That pitch is outside, leveling the count at 1-1. The Mustangs have 9 home runs as a team. 4 of them have been hit by Cosman, I should say. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss through a fastball right by him. Count is at 1-2. Bohm, Zwedzik, and Daniels at third, second, and first, respectively. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Austin Cosman. Wind and pitch. Slow curve is popped up on the right side. Isaiah Padilla giving chase along with the first baseman record, but it's on top of the dugout. And out of play. It remains at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. 1-0 Fort Morgan, bottom of the second inning. With Austin Cosman inside the batter's box. And Padilla out of the windup. And the pitch. Fastball is in the dirt. That levels the count at 2-2. Mustangs trailed 2-1 after 1 inning before Jared Bohm's 3-run double on Wednesday gave them a 4-2 lead, and they never looked back. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded to the shortstop, Allen. He's got it. Flips to second for the out, forcing Daniels. And the Mustangs do not score in inning number 2. They leave the bases loaded as we head to the third. It's Fort Morgan 1, Fort Lupton nothing on B106 and B106.com. Fort Morgan 1, Fort Lupton nothing as we head to the third in Fort Morgan. The Mustangs are looking for the season sweep of the Blue Devils after winning on Wednesday 12-3 in Fort Lupton. It'll be the second baseman, Lorenzo Antuna, to lead off against the left-hander Kyle Daniels. The wind and the pitch. Changeup is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Antuna did not get the start on Wednesday. The pitch up and away with a changeup, 2-0. Daniels still looking to establish control. 14 strikes and 12 balls in the early going. The offering. Swag and a miss on a changeup. It's 2-1. The right-handed hitting Antuna awaits, swung on and fouled off the end of the bat. That means he was still way out in front of that changeup. A filthy changeup thrown by Daniels. Count is sitting at 2-2. And the pitch. Curveball's a called strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Kyle Daniels. And there's 1 down. That'll send up Ian McPeak, who had a base hit against Bohm on Wednesday. Bohm was fabulous, striking out 13 in the game. The pitch, and squaring to bunt, lays it out on the right side, barehanded by Daniels, sidearms to first. McPeak is out on 1 pitch. It would have been a much better bunt on the other side, but he gave Daniels an easy play, and there's 2 down. 2 down for Jeff Merritt. Merritt popped to right in his first at bat. Wind and pitch. Fastball is a strike, tailing away on the outside corner. It's 0-1. 1-0 Fort Morgan in the third. Wind and offering. Curveball is right there, outside corner, thigh high. It's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, and the base is empty. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Daniels. 2 strikeouts in the inning and 5 in the game. Let us head to the bottom of the third. It's Fort Morgan 1, Fort Lupton nothing. You're listening to Mustang Baseball on B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs lead the Blue Devils 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. It'll be Reyes, Rodriguez, Wes Anderson, and James Blackston, 3, 4, and 5 for Fort Morgan against the right-hander Isaiah Padilla. So far for the Mustangs, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error. They've stranded 4. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base for Fort Lupton. Rodriguez had the run-scoring single in the first inning. Wind and pitch. Curveball down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the wind and the offering. Swung on and grounded to Allen at short. He backs up, fields it on the third hop, low throw to first, and it skips by the first baseman record. Backed up by the catcher McCutcheon, but on the air by Allen. Into second is going to be Rodriguez. So that's the way this inning starts. Third consecutive inning. The Mustangs have had the leadoff man on. And it was on the air by Allen. Wes Anderson grounded out to Allen. And his first at bat. The stretch and the offering. Curveball is taken for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Fort Morgan with a 1-run lead. The stretch and the pitch. Low with a fastball. 2-0. Off of second is Rodriguez. 2-0. Slow curve is outside. 3-0 on a beautiful Friday afternoon. We've had great weather with the exception of Wednesday, but it wasn't bad enough to postpone the game, and that breaking ball's down and in, or even suspend the game after a few innings. We got all 7 innings in. It's a walk to Wes Anderson, first and second, with nobody out here for James Blackston, who popped to left in his first at bat. Now, let's see if Fort Morgan capitalized. They had the same situation in the second, did not score. The stretch by Padilla. And the pitch squaring to bunt, and it's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Coach Langford wants to play some small ball and make sure the Mustangs can extend the lead. 1-0, squaring to bunt, lays it up right in front of the pitcher. Padilla picks it up, looks to third, throws to first with a second baseman covering. Another successful sacrifice, 1-4. And there's 1 down. 1 down for Jared Bohm, who had a base hit in his first at bat. In fact, he led off the second with a base hit. But he was stranded. The stretch. And the offering. Curveball is driven towards left field. Way back is going to be Garcia. He can't get to the baseball. Rodriguez will score easily. Around third is Wes Anderson. He's headed to the plate, and he will score. It's a 2-run double for Jared Bohm. He now has 17 runs batted in on the season, and the Mustangs lead by a score of 3-0 in the third. And that was belted by Jared Bohm. That'll bring up Tony Zwedzig, who had a base hit in his first at bat. The stretch and the offering. Curveball is lined down the right field line, but is twisting foul. No balls and 1 strike to Tony Zwedzig. With Fort Morgan just on 1 swing there by Bohm, tripling their lead. Padilla gets a sign from McCutcheon. 0-1. Swung on and popped up into foul territory. Record, the first baseman, going over and makes the catch in front of the Fort Lupton dugout. Zwedzig not happy about that. And there's 2 down. 2 down for Jared Henderson. Henderson had that sacrifice bunt in his first plate appearance, not an at-bat. As he will now bat against the right-hander Padilla. Bohm off of second, the stretch. And the pitch. Swing, and a miss and a slow curve. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Bohm off of second, a huge lead for the senior. Step off, Padilla will not throw over there. Henderson back in the box. And the pitch. Swing and a miss again. On a bender that was diving down in the zone. 0-2. That was the 50th pitch thrown by Padilla. 27 strikes, 23 balls so far. A stretch and the offering. Swung on and grounded a short. Clint Allen to his left has got it. Sets, throws, and the inning is over. But the Mustangs score a couple of runs. They get a Jared Bohm double. In the inning, they had that only hit. There was 1 error and a man left. 3 complete. Fort Morgan 3, Fort Lupton nothing on B106 and B106.com. Let's hit the top of the 4th inning in Fort Morgan. The Mustangs with a 3-0 lead over the Fort Lupton Blue Devils. It's Colton McCutcheon, Clint Allen, and Manny Ledesma. McCutcheon struck out looking in his first at-bat. And keep in mind, Kyle Daniels has 5 strikeouts. Breaking ball is grounded to third. Cosman has it to his left. Sets, throws, and there's 1 down. One down in the Fort Lupton 4th. Clint Allen will now hit. He reached on an error in his first at-bat. As Daniels has done a nice job. Even though he struck out 5, he's also pitched well to contact. The left-hander looks in, and the pitch, and the breaking ball bounces in. 1 ball and no strikes. Mustangs have an RBI single from Reyes Rodriguez and a 2-run double from Jared Bohm for the 3-0 advantage in the 4th. Schneider lays down the sign, and the 1-0. In the dirt again with a breaking ball. B&B Appliance carries a full line of in-stock and ready-to-be-delivered Whirlpool appliances, and with the world moving towards more green energy, time for you to recycle the old and get in with the new. That's new appliances at B&B Appliance. 2-0 pitch. A little bit outside. 3-0. 1 down and the base is empty in the 4th. But Daniels has got to come back on this hitter, Allen. 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. Took something off, and it's 3-1. And this game has gone by extremely fast. 3-1. Down and away on a breaking ball, and it's a walk. First of the game issued by Daniels to go along with those 5 strikeouts, but Manny Ledesma, who grounded to second, is now at the plate. And he is a double play candidate. 3-step lead over there for Allen. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and grounded to second. Reyes Rodriguez has got it. Flips to second. That's going to be late. Throw to first is going to be late as well. Well, Rodriguez made the mistake of going to second anyway. That ball was hit too slowly. That'll simply be a fielder's choice, but that play's got to be to first. That ball was not hit sharply enough to go to second, so no base hit, no error, just a fielder's choice. First and second, and the tying run is Isaiah Padilla. The stretch and the offering. And that ball is off the glove of Schneider on the changeup. It'll be a pass ball, allowing the runners to advance. One ball and no strikes. Padilla had a base hit in his first plate appearance. as the Blue Devils are putting together their first legitimate threat of the game. The wind and the 1-0. Curveball is a strike on the outer half. That moves the count to 1-1. Daniels pitches with a lot of composure. And the offering. Fastball down and away. Ball 2, strike 1. And he's thrown just 43 pitches, so lots left in that arm. The offering, and he bounces that one in 3-1. He might be trying to set it up for the on-deck hitter, Alex Record. Because Padilla did get that base hit off of Daniels. Let's see if he pitches around him. 3-1 offering. The fastball is a strike on the outside corner. Daniels snuck it by Padilla. It's 3-2. Allen at third. Ledesma at second. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if Daniels might go with a changeup here and get Padilla out in front. Wind and pitch. Swung on and foul back. He did go with the off-speed pitch, and Padilla got a piece of it. Stays at 3-2. 3-0 Fort Morgan, top of the 4th inning in Fort Morgan. 2 on, 1 out. Schneider lays down the sign. And the 3-2 pitch is in the dirt. He bounced that changeup, second walk of the inning. But he's got it set up here for Alex Record, who struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. And Daniels has been very good about inducing ground balls, and he could use a little comebacker right here to start a 1-2-3 double play. Wind by Daniels in the pitch. Swung on and popped up. That'll be an infield fly. So that's going to be a second out. It doesn't matter if the ball's caught or not. And Anderson doesn't catch it, but doesn't matter anyway. It's an infield fly. So there's 2 down. You would still like to make that catch if you're the infield, because what happens is that if it's not an infield fly, you drop the ball, then that's an issue. But there's 2 down. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss to the left-handed hitting Devin Garcia. Garcia struck out in his first at-bat, and he missed that curveball by a mile. Here's the wind and the offering. A changeup, a strike on the outer half, thigh high. It's 0-2. Now Daniels is Garcia in major trouble. No balls, 2 strikes. He might go with that curveball again. Wind and pitch, and he does, and it's just down and in. 1-2. Missed the location there. If he can spot that breaking ball down and away, or the changeup down and away, he's got Garcia, who's opening up big time. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And he's got a step on home plate. Apparently Schneider didn't handle it cleanly. Nonetheless, it's a strikeout to end the top of the 4th inning. The 6th strikeout of the game for Kyle Daniels. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the bases were left loaded. The score, Fort Morgan 3, Fort Lupton nothing after 3.5 innings on B106 and B106.com. Joey Schneider swings and sends a fly ball to deep left field, up to the warning track and near the fence, and he's into second with a double on the first pitch of the bottom of the 4th inning, and T.J. Bauer will get a courtesy runner. The Mustangs lead the Fort Lupton Blue Devils by a score of 3-0, and for the 4th consecutive inning, Fort Morgan has the leadoff man on. The wind might have held that one up, but Schneider got pretty much all that baseball. Kyle Daniels has doubled and walked. Wind and pitch, and he squares the bunt and fouls it to the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Both teams have committed an error in the game. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Mustangs. No runs, 1 hit for the Blue Devils. The Mustangs have stranded 5. Fort Lupton has left 4 on base. Let's see if Daniel squares the bunt again. He does, and he takes it for a ball in the dirt. Leveling the count at 1-1. If you're tired of the same old lunch and dinner menu, switch it up. Pick up something new from the hot and cold deli selection. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Great food at low prices. Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. The offering, squaring to bunt, and fouls it up the third base side. And that's too bad, because the third baseman, Ledesma, is played so far back that if Daniels just squirts the ball up there, he's got an easy base hit, but now it's at 1-2, and more than likely will have to swing away. 1 ball and 2 strikes in the bottom of the 4th inning. Fort Morgan 3, Fort Lupton nothing. Bauer at second after Schneider's leadoff double. The stretch by Padilla. And the offering. And the slow curve is outside. Moves the count to 2-2. Yeah, the sun has been out all day. Just a gorgeous afternoon in Fort Morgan. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul. Out of play off to the left. Count remains at 2-2 to the sophomore left-hander Kyle Daniels. Bauer off of second. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and grounded to the left side. The third baseman, Ledesma, has it. Long throw to first. It's going to be in time. Excellent play by Ledesma. Holding at second is Bauer, and there's 1 down. One down. That'll bring up Austin Cosman, who has struck out and hit into a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 2. Cosman might have had the biggest hit of the season last Friday with that 3-run homer, overturning a 1-0 deficit against Elizabeth into a 3-1 lead on their way to a 9-3 win. Fort Morgan looking for their 12th victory of the year. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and popped up at a shallow right field. McPeak to his right, still racing towards the line, and it's going to drop fair just inside the line. Cosman to second. Bauer heads over to third base. And he only got 1 base on that. I guess he didn't read it. He must have thought McPeak had a chance to catch the ball. So he was very conservative on the base pass. So second and third. And that'll send up Reyes Rodriguez. Singled and reached on an error. With only 1 out, Fort Morgan has a chance to stretch their lead. The stretch by Padilla, the pitch. Swung on and grounded left side. The third baseman is going to come home, and the tag's going to be applied, and Bauer is out. As the play was made by Manny Ledesma, the fielder's choice goes 5-2. As Bauer was going on contact. And to third on the play is Cosman. 2 down for Wes Anderson. Anderson is grounded to short and walked. He's 0 for 1. Yeah, the Mustangs not taking advantage of the opportunities like they have in games past. The stretch by Padilla. And the offering. Swung on and foul back on a ball up in the zone. It is 0-1. Final 2 regular season games are Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday at Englewood at 4:30. And Friday at home against Englewood at 4 o'clock. The stretch. And the pitch. And the breaking ball down and away. Rodriguez will steal the base easily. So now second and third. And Anderson's very good at waiting on those slow curves. He might deposit one over the right field fence if he waits just long enough. The pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Not in his wheelhouse there. 1-2 to Wes Anderson. Out of the stretch is Padilla. And the offering. Swung on and lined on 1 hop. Allen with a nice backhand stop. The throw to first is it dug out? Dug out, but off the bag. Will give Anderson an RBI single that will score Cosman, and the Mustangs now lead 4-0. I mean, a tough throw there by Allen. I don't know how he even got that baseball, considering that he was cut off by Rodriguez going from second to third. Very smart base running by Rodriguez. But it will be an RBI for Anderson. Here's James Blackton popped out, and a sac bunt. 0 for 1. The fastball's upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Stretch it offering. That's a strike. Took something off it on the outside corner at the knees. That levels the count at 1-1. 1-1 to Blackston. The stretch and the pitch. Down and away. Going is Anderson. No throw there. Count is at 2-1, so 2 more in scoring position for Fort Morgan. And the Mustangs with a 4-0 advantage. They've scored 1 run so far in the Wes Anderson infield hit. Runners take their leads. The pitch to Blackston. Bounces up there, scooped up by McCutcheon. Fort Morgan with a run in the first on a Reyes-Rodriguez RBI single, then Jared Bohm's 2-run double in the third. And then the single moments ago by Anderson. The throw was offline, but it was a play in the hole for the shortstop, Allen. 3-1 with Bohm on deck. The stretch by Padilla and the offering. And the breaking ball is lifted down the left field line. Garcia's way back along the line, and it is going to be a foul ball as it twisted towards the foul pole. And it is 3-2. Blackston hit the same ball last Friday against Elizabeth, and it dropped just inside the left field line for a double. This time it had a little bit too much, and the wind caught it just a little bit. 3-2 to James Blackston. Kyle Daniels has held Fort Lupton in check, allowing just 1 hit. That came to the pitcher, Padilla. The pitch upstairs with a fastball, and Blackston walks on a full count. And here is Jared Bohm, who has been very good so far for the Mustangs. We mentioned a 2-run double. He also singled in the game. So he is sitting at 2 for 2. Padilla pitches right over the plate for a strike at the knees on that fastball. It's 0-1. Out of the windup with the bases full and 2 down in the fourth. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the dirt. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 0-2 to Bohm. Padilla steps off. McCutcheon lays down the sign and the offering upstairs with the off-speed pitch. 1-2. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan, Equitable Savings and Loan in Fort Morgan and Brush with financial solutions for you. 1-2 in the dirt with the off-speed pitch. Blocked by McCutcheon. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4-0 Fort Morgan, bottom of the 4th inning. Game moving along pretty quickly. Here's the wind and offering. Swing and foul tipped into the glove of McCutcheon, and Bohm strikes out. The Mustangs have stranded 8 in the game. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and the bases were left loaded. 4 complete. It's Fort Morgan 4, Fort Lupton nothing on B106 and B106.com. The first pitch to Lorenzo Antunes, a strike by Kyle Daniels, and then that changeup tails away. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the 5th inning. And Fort Morgan with a 4-0 lead over Fort Lupton. Down and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Antunes struck out looking in his first plate appearance. 6 strikeouts so far for Daniels. The offering. Swing and a miss on a changeup. The count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Daniels ready. The left-hander delivers. Tails away. 3-2. Daniels has walked a couple as well. And the offering and the breaking ball is tapped foul up the third base side. So it remains at 3-2. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery offers cookies, muffins, and sweetbreads made fresh daily. Pair with your favorite coffee, latte, or smoothie flavors, and you're set. Open 6 days a week. The pitch. Swing and a miss and a changeup. 7 strikeouts. Now for Kyle Daniels, Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies, and G Sweets Bakery. They're in Brush at 921 Edison Street. That'll send up Ian McPeak, who tried to bunt his way on and was thrown out by Daniels. The pitch, change up, a strike on the outer half just above the knees. And it's 0-1. Lefty against lefty, and the offering. Swung on and popped up in the infield. The shortstop, Zwedzig, is going out into shallow left, turns to his right, makes the two-handed grab as that ball carried a little bit further, and there are two down. For Jeff Merritt, who's popped out and struck out swinging. So he's 0 for 2 in the game. Now let's face it, Daniels has done the job. He's got 14 outs on 61 pitches. The offering. Breaking ball is up and away and allowed just one base hit. That was to Isaiah Padilla to lead off the second. 4-0 Fort Morgan in the fifth. The stretch by Daniels, 1-0. Curveball, swing and a miss. Down and in. The count is level. At 1 ball and 1 strike. Schneider lays down the sign. And the 1-1. Fastball is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Daniels ready. He turns and delivers. Curveball foul towards the backstop. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 down, the base is empty in the fifth. And Daniels cruising along. He did have trouble with the bases loaded in the last inning, but got out of it. The offering, up and away. With a tailing changeup, 3-2. And Merritt is right on top of that plate. Looking at the umpire, but his right foot was definitely well over the line. Plus, that's not necessarily the smartest thing to do, because they throw something inside, it jams you badly. And the 3-2, and the curveball's in the dirt. It's his third walk issued by Daniels. That'll bring up the catcher, Colton McCutcheon, who struck out and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. With one big swing, Fort Lupton gets back in this game as they trail 4-0. And Daniels ready. Pretty good lead over there for Merritt. And the pitch. Curveball is a beauty on the outer half. Thigh high, it's 0-1. About a 2.5 to 3-step lead for Merritt at first. Daniels looks over there. Runner goes to pitch. Breaking ball outside. The throw to second is high and backed up by the shortstop, Zwedzig. It's a stolen base for Jeff Merritt. And a runner in scoring position. These teams have combined to strand 12 base runners, 8 of those by Fort Morgan. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 2 down. Daniels at the belt. The pitch, changeup, barely missed. A little bit high, 2-1. That was the 70th pitch thrown by Daniels, 40 strikes and 30 balls to this point. Gets the sign from Schneider. And the 2-1. And the breaking ball is in the dirt. Now Daniels losing a little control as he already walked 1 in this inning. That's Merritt, who's standing at second base. He's got 3 in the game. And is 1 pitch away from a free pass to McCutcheon. With one of their better hitters, Clint Allen, on deck. 3-1 pitch. Fastball is very high. And Allen also walked, and he reached on an error. Luckily, all of this has happened with 2 down. So Fort Morgan might be able to escape trouble as Daniels did earlier in this game. So Daniels looks in. Doesn't want to totally give in because Allen is a good hitter. The stretch and the pitch and the breaking ball is in the dirt, blocked by Schneider. And there's going to be a conference on the hill if Allen reaches here. And that's what happens in baseball. Just takes that one hitter. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 on, 2 down. And the throw to first, and back in diving is McCutcheon. We're at the top of the hour, just past the top of the hour. This is KPRB, Brush, Fort Morgan, Morgan County's B106. I'm John Beltran from Fort Morgan. The Mustangs lead the Fort Lupton Blue Devils 4-0, top of the 5th inning. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball is a strike on the outside corner at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. And as we saw on Wednesday and saw earlier today, Allen likes to pull the ball. So Swedzik's got to be careful over there at short, cheating a little bit towards the bag. The pitch swung on and grounded into left field for a base hit. Merritt is around third. He's going to score easily, and that's exactly why you got to shade over to the left side. And it's Fort Morgan 4, Fort Lupton 1. And unfortunately, you could almost see that coming. To second is McCutcheon. All of this done with 2 down. Manny Ledesma's grounded out and hit into a fielder's choice. And he's the tying run right now, with Fort Lupton trailing by 3. The pitch runner goes to third, and the bender's in the dirt, and now the trail runner takes off the second. So McCutcheon's at third, and at second is Allen. 1 ball, no strikes. All of a sudden, Daniels is in trouble. The pitch, curveball, a strike on the outer half at the knees. One ball, 1 strike. Wind and pitch. That changeup tails away. Yeah, like any pitcher who relies on a curveball and a changeup, you miss location, you get in big trouble. Like there, down and in on the changeup. 3-1 to Ledesma. And Fort Lupton hasn't really done much to earn anything here. It's just that the left-hander Daniels is unable to locate the strike zone. Gets the sign from Schneider, and the pitch. That tails outside on another changeup. That's 4 walks, 2 in the inning. And let's see, the infield will convene with Isaiah Padilla at the plate. He just lost it. Had 2 outs and nobody on. And Kyle Daniels, who usually is in control, has been unable to locate in this inning. And Fort Lupton took advantage with a base hit from Clint Allen. All of a sudden, his strike-to-ball ratio doesn't look good at all. 43 strikes and 37 balls. And he's issued 3 walks in the inning, not 2. 3 walks in this inning. Padilla can change the game with a base hit. The Mustangs, with an out, can keep it at a 3-run lead. Wind and pitch. Curveball is a strike. Down the middle, it's 0-1 at the knees. At third is McCutcheon. Clint Allen at second. Ledesma at first. 4-1 Fort Morgan, top of the 5th inning. 0-1. Swag, and missing a breaking ball in the dirt. 0-2. Let's see if Daniels can throw one of his 2 money pitches here. And the 0-2, that fastball is a waste pitch. And then breaking for the plate, the slide, safe! Safe as McCutcheon broke for the plate on the throw back. Well, that goes as a steal at home for McCutcheon. And it's 4-2. Wow. So the Mustangs didn't see that coming. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And this game has changed completely because of all this damage done with 2 down. As stepping out is Padilla. Let's see if Fort Morgan can compose themselves here and retain at least a 2-run lead with runners at the corners. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the stretch. Daniels comes home, and the breaking ball is down and away. 2-2. Well, sometimes when you're in cruise control, you can't assume it's going to continue. The 2-2 pitch. Swing! And a miss and a changeup. And that does end the top of the 5th inning for Fort Lupton, but they were able to score 2 runs on only 1 hit. No errors, 2 men left, and a struggle for Kyle Daniels, who walked 3. 4.5 complete. Fort Morgan 4, Fort Lupton 2 on B106 and B106.com. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Mustangs lead the Fort Lupton Blue Devils by a score of 4-2. Fort Morgan was cruising along with a 4-0 lead, and then Kyle Daniels, who's been a solid pitcher all season, just could not find the strike zone. And Fort Lupton, as a result, cut the lead in half. Time for the Mustangs to counter with Tony Zwedzig leading off in the bottom of the fifth inning. On a late May type of day in late April. Zwedzig singled and popped out against his right-hander, Isaiah Padilla. So he is 1 for 2 in the game. The pitch swung on and chopped slowly up to third. Charging over there, Ledesma throws to first, and Zwedzig is out. One down in the fifth inning. Here's Jared Henderson. Reached on a sac bunt and then grounded out. Actually was thrown out on the sac bunt, grounded out. Then he's 0 for 1 as a result. Much better defense today than that disaster on Wednesday where 10 errors were committed, 5 by each team. But the good news, the Mustangs won that game 12-3. The pitch in the dirt for the off-speed pitch 1-0. Before your next mixer or feeder truck purchase, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. MMI International, 842-5161. MMI International, 1-0. Swung on and popped foul. That one is out of play. The count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Fort Morgan has scored in 3 of the first 4 innings. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Throw a sneaky one right by him in the outer half. It's 1-2. To Jared Henderson. McCutcheon lays down the sign and the pitch in the dirt. Well, Fort Lupton has played a lot better than they did on Wednesday. And Padilla doesn't have great stuff, but it's good enough to at least keep Fort Morgan in check somewhat. And the 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss, dropped by McCutcheon, but he's going to be out anyway because Henderson headed towards the dugout. And it's a strikeout for Isaiah Padilla. 2 down for Joey Schneider. The Mustang catcher has grounded out and doubled. Padilla picked up his 3rd strikeout there of the game. Here's the wind in the pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Allen in the hole. Backhands, plays it, and then throws to first, and that's going to be late. In the hole. He comes up with it cleanly. There's a shot. I'll give him a charity base hit there. Because it was going to be a long, long throw. And now T.J. Bauer will be the courtesy runner. Yeah, those are much easier to score at the upper levels, but at the high school level, not as easy to score because that would have been a heck of a long throw there for Allen. And Schneider's got some pretty decent speed. Daniels at 1 for 2. The stretch. Throw back to first. And safe. Bauer's got to watch out over there. The Mustangs now with 9 base hits, only 2 for Fort Lupton, but it's only a 4-2 game despite the disparity in base hits. The stretch by Padilla. Daniels awaits the pitch. And he swings and drives it down the right field line, but it's foul. That had plenty of twist on that baseball. It's 0-1. Once again, 4:30 start time on Wednesday from Englewood, not 4 o'clock. 4:30. The Mustangs on the road against the Pirates on Wednesday on B106 and B106.com. Here it's a Fort Morgan 4-2 lead over Fort Lupton with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. And T.J. Bauer at first base with about a 2-step lead. Padilla looks in. And the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. That evens the count at 1-1. Laying down the sign is McCutcheon. And the offering. Curveball. He bunts it up the third base side. They're not going to throw him out. Padilla bare hands the throw to first, and it's up the right field line. Picked up by McPeak. The third is Bauer. At home. The throw towards the plate. The slide. Safe. And the third is Daniels. And the Mustangs now lead 5-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, we will give Daniels a base hit, but then an error on the throw by Padilla, allowing the run to score. As T.J. Bauer crossed home plate, so no RBI there for Daniels. And that'll bring up Austin Cosman, hitting from the right side. The stretch by Padilla, the pitch, and the breaking ball is down the middle for a strike. No balls and one strike. To the Mustang third baseman, Austin Cosman, the stretch by Padilla, and the offering. And that ball hit him. I think it got him on the left wrist, so they're going to say it's a foul. It's a foul ball off the knob of the bat, apparently. Cosman has struck out, hit into a fielder's choice, and then doubled. And now Coach Langford talking to the home plate umpire. And there'll be a conference right there between the field umpire and the home plate umpire. Well, the one thing you've got to do when you're up there, too, is try to be an actor. Because Cosman looked like it hit him, but you got to pretend that that ball almost broke your wrist and convince the umpire that it really hit him. And the umpire immediately ruled that it was fouled off the bat. No balls and two strikes with a man at third, one in. Fort Morgan with a 3-run lead in the bottom of the fifth inning. And Kyle Daniels sitting at third. He's already scored in this game. The stretch by Padilla. Pitch to Cosman. Outside in the dirt, in fact. The count moves to 1-2. And a big, big run scored by Fort Morgan there. On the Daniels bunt and the throwaway by the pitcher Padilla. Fort Lupton's second error of the game. Now he takes off and going to try to draw a balk. And McCutcheon was tagged out. I think Coach Langford is going to get a balk. That's what happened there. Padilla was starting his motion and then stop. When you start your motion, you just can't step off, and a balk was called. And Daniel scores, and it's 6-2. Yeah, once you begin the motion towards the plate, you cannot stop it. If you do and you try to throw home, it's a balk, and that's what happened. That's why Daniels was able to score, and the Mustangs now lead 6-2. So they have gotten those 2 runs back that they relinquished earlier this inning. Not the most conventional way that both teams have scored runs in this frame, but Fort Morgan has reclaimed that 4-run lead. And Cosman is up there with a 1-ball, 2-strike count, and the bases are now empty. So Padilla will settle back in on the rubber. With a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And Coach Langford called it immediately. He saw that. Here's the wind and the pitch. Up and in. Well, the board says 3-2. I don't think they called a ball on that balk. I think it was a straight ball. I'm marking it 2-2. We'll see. The offering in the dirt. And I was wrong, yeah. So it's a walk. And here's Reyes Rodriguez. Single, driving in a run, reached in an air, and a fielder's choice. So now this fifth inning has come to a little bit of a halt, as both teams have scored 2 runs in the frame. And Fort Morgan has that 6-2 lead. Reyes Rodriguez officially is at 1 for 3. The stretch and pitch. And that is down and away. Took something off it. It's 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to the second baseman. The stretch. Runner goes. Swing and a miss on a slow curve. An easy stolen base for Austin Cosman. He had an incredible jump there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 2 down, 2 in. Fort Morgan 6, Fort Lupton 2. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning in Fort Morgan. Padilla looks back at second. The stretch and the offering. Swung on in line towards center field. That's a base hit. Cosman goes to third. He's being sent home. The throw towards the plate. Cut off by Padilla. The slide into home. He's in there. Cosman scores head first on the slide on the RBI single from Reyes Rodriguez, his second RBI of the game. And Fort Morgan now leads Fort Lupton 7-2. That extends the inning for Wes Anderson. Ground out, walked, and singled. In his younger days, known as Wesley, but he's graduated to a shorter name. As the senior first baseman. If he gets one of those pitches on the inner half, he can certainly pull it, but Padilla's been pitching away against him. And hard to pull the ball when it's located on the outside corner, and that's a fastball in there for a strike. Snuck it in on the outer half. And the count is at 0-1 to Wes Anderson. The stretch throw back to first, and back in diving is Rodriguez. With two down here in the fifth inning. The pitch swung on and driven foul. Oh, waited a little bit longer. That one could have been flying a long way. No balls and 2 strikes. The error by the pitcher Padilla along with a balk have contributed to the Mustangs' rally. 0-2. Anderson back in the box. McCutcheon setting up on the outside corner of the pitch. And that is outside, just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fort Morgan with a victory would improve to 12-5. Going for their 12th win in their last 14 games. Padilla stretches and the offering. Swung on and driven, foul down the right field line. Got out in front of that pitch. Still waiting and waiting and waiting, but got to wait a little bit longer and longer and longer. Those slow curves and those change-ups take a while to get to the plate. So the count remains at 1-2 to Wes Anderson. Padilla stretches and the pitch, and that breaking ball is very high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First 4 innings went by extremely quick. The 5th inning has come to a standstill. At first is Rodriguez. Padilla looks in. Runner goes. Swung on and grounded to short. Allen has got it. He sets, throws to first, and Anderson is retired. But the Mustangs score 3 times at the bottom of the 5th inning. And they do it on 3 hits, 1 error, and a man left. Let's go to the 6th in Fort Morgan. It's the Mustangs 7, the Fort Lupton Blue Devils 2 on B106 and B106.com. 7-2 Fort Morgan in the lead over Fort Lupton as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Alex Record has struck out swinging. He's 0 for 2. Also hit an infield fly with the bases loaded. The pitch, swing and a miss on a changeup. It's 0-1. Kyle Daniels, the left-hander, struggled in that last inning, but he's got the lead. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes. Daniels has struck out 8, but walked 5. The pitch, swing and a miss at the knees. With some power behind that baby. Strikeout number 9, 1 down in the 6th inning. Here's Devin Garcia. Check that. It'll be a pinch hitter because Garcia struck out twice. And this will be John Lujan. With 1 out and the bases empty in the 6th. So they'll make the official change. As Bladen Pollitt is warming up in the left field bullpen for Fort Morgan. Daniels has thrown 88 pitches. Swing and a miss on a changeup. It's 0-1. Daniels looks in for the sign. And the offering swung on and fouled back. Another changeup. And after struggling in that fifth inning, Daniels looks like he's back on track here so far in the sixth. However, he did retire the first two in the fifth inning, so that third out was very hard to come by. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. That is just a little bit low on the breaking ball. Count moves to 1-2. Fort Morgan with a 5-run advantage here in the sixth inning. The wind and offering. Swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. If Lujan didn't foul that ball, it might have hit him. That ball was tailing in on the right-handed hitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to John Lujan. Schneider lays down the sign. And the pitch. Swing and a miss and a changeup. Strikeout number 10 for Kyle Daniels as he fans John Lujan. 2 down for Lorenzo Antuna, who was struck out twice. Wind and pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. To the right-handed hitting second baseman for Fort Lupton. The Blue Devils have just 2 hits off the left-hander Daniels. And the 1-0. And that changeup is up and away, moving the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Daniels gets ready, and the 2-0 offering. Changeup, a strike on the outside corner just above the knees. And the count moves to 2-1. Daniels working quickly. Kicks and fires, and the curveball is upstairs. Ball 3, strike 1. Man, Antuna's not even stepping out. He's just staying in the box. 3-1 pitch, and that's very high with a changeup. And Daniels issues his 6th walk of the game. That'll bring up Ian McPeak, who's 0 for 2, the 9th place hitter in this lineup, lefty against lefty. And this turns out to be a huge hitter because this is when the trouble started in the 5th inning. You get the first 2 out and then had trouble finding the strike zone. The same thing has happened here in the 6th, but if you get McPeak, everything is obviously all forgotten, and that won't repeat itself. The pitch, the curveball is up and away. And if you're Daniels, you're facing the 9th place hitter. You're almost better going either with that fastball or straight change and use your curveball as your out pitch. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Nice change up there, belt high. Levels the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 2 down. Top of the 6th inning. Fort Morgan leads Fort Lupton 7-2 in Fort Morgan. The stretch by Daniels. The offering. That is over but low. 2-1. Antuna has nearly a microscopic lead at first there. The stretch. And he goes over there and he's going to pick him off somehow. Antuna was leading with a very short lead, and Daniels picks him off. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th. Fort Morgan 7, Fort Lupton 2 on B106 and B106.com. Bottom of the 6th inning we go. And the Mustangs lead the Blue Devils 7-2 in Fort Morgan. Well, the Mustangs have 2 options here. They can score 5 runs in the inning and end the game, or they can score fewer than 5 runs, still put together a rally, and then retire Fort Lupton in the 7th and win that way. James Blackston will lead off the bottom of the 6th for Fort Morgan. This was a 4-0 game. It became 4-2, but then Fort Morgan scored 3 in the 5th inning. Wind and pitch, swung on and grounded to the third baseman. Nice play by Ledesma, throws to first, and Blackston is out on the first pitch of the bottom of the 6th inning on a ball that was hit pretty sharply. So Blackston is now 0 for 2 in the game. Sometimes you have a good swing, hit it well, but it doesn't pay off. Here's Jared Bohm. He singled, doubled, and struck out the pitch and the breaking ball to the screen. Padilla's thrown 102 pitches. Kyle Daniels right around that mark as well. Here's the wind and offering. And that is, did he go? They're going to call that a strike. Wow. Count is level at 1-1 and the ball in the dirt. I thought Bohm held up, but the umpire's right there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The base is empty in the 6th to pitch. And that fastball's a strike at the knees. Ball 1, strike 2 to Jared Bohm. Padilla gets the sign and the offering. Swing and a miss and a ball that is dropped by the catcher McCutcheon. He'll set and he'll retire Bohm. There's 2 down. Two down for Tony Zwedzig, who was singled, popped out, and grounded out. He is 1 for 3 in the game. As he steps in against the right-hander. The pitch, and the breaking ball is a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes to Zwedzig. Padilla gets the sign. And the pitch, down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Padilla's going to go the distance here, but more than likely in a losing cause. 2-0. That's right there for a strike down the middle. Took something off of that one. Count is at 2-1. Zwedzig awaits the pitch. Here it is. Swung on and tapped slowly to third. Charging is Ledesma. He fields. He throws to first. And that'll be in time. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Isaiah Padilla. Let's head to the 7th and final frame. The score, Fort Morgan 7, Fort Lupton 2 on B106 and B106.com. After 101 pitches, Kyle Daniels is being relieved. Here in the 7th, Bladen Pollitt will now pitch to Ian McPeak, Jeff Merritt, and Colton McCutcheon. Daniels will be in center field, where he normally plays when he's not pitching. As the Mustangs lead 7-2. Over the Fort Lupton Blue Devils. Let's see, it looks like T.J. Bauer is going to go to right. And I'm not sure who's in left field. There's a change there, too. It looks like a new left fielder, but... No, that's James Blackston, yeah. James is always in left, so... He's in left when Jared Bohm is pitching. So here we go to begin the 7th. McPeak was at the plate when the previous inning ended on a pickoff. The pitch. Fastball is a little bit low by the right-hander, Bladen Pollitt. Here's the wind and the offering. A little bit down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Mustangs up by 5 here in the 7th inning at home, looking to clinch the Colorado 7 League title for the 2nd straight year. Well, that looked like it was there. I don't know where that missed. It was over the plate. McPeak is not exactly the tallest hitter they have, and it was still called a ball. 3-0. I don't know where he's got to throw it. 3-0 pitch. Well, that's in the dirt. There was no doubt about that one. McPeak was 0 for 2, has walked, and here's Jeff Merritt, who has popped out, struck out, and walked. So he is 0 for 2. See, we get some numbers here on Pollitt. A 4.42 ERA. He's thrown 12 2/3 innings this year. The pitch. Breaking ball is up and in. And Pollitt was on the hill against Vista Peak when Fort Morgan had an 11-3 lead in the 7th inning and won the game 11-10, but there were 2 errors behind him. But he's got to throw strikes here. The stretch, the offering. That's in the dirt. That's 6 balls to begin the 7th. And Fort Morgan is not a deep pitching team. They basically go with their 2 starters in Pollitt. Wes Anderson has seen some time on the hill. 2-0. That's right there down the middle for a strike. 2-1 to Jeff Merritt. Fort Lupton has had base runners in recent innings with limited success. The The stretch and the pitch. Down and away, 3-1. To Jeff Merritt, and the heart of the order is coming up here for Fort Lupton. Pollitt ready, and the offering. That's right there for a strike. Fastball belt high, it's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Top of the 7th inning. McPeak at first, the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded down the third baseline. Cosman has it. Flips to second. That'll be in time, yes, to get McPeak. The fielder's choice is successful, but a very close play. And now Coach Langford might be asking about a possible automatic double play. If the runner slides right into you, there could be an automatic double play situation. I don't think he's going to get the call, but I think that's what he's inquiring about. On the grounder to Cosman, forcing McPeak. Colton McCutcheon is struck out, grounded to third and walked. He's 0 for 2. As I've seen that called many times. If there's some form of obstruction by the runner, even if it's not a double play grounder, they can call a double play. So righty against righty, with 1 down, 1 on. In the 7th, and the Mustangs holding a 7-2 lead. Pollard gets the sign from Schneider. About a 2-step lead for Merritt at first. The pitch, and the breaking ball is a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Fort Morgan looking to turn a game-ending double play here. Throw back to first, and back in diving is Merritt. Fort Lupton's had base runners, but they only have 2 hits in the game. One by Padilla, the other by Clint Allen. And the 0-1 fastball is upstairs and inside. The count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. With 1 down and 1 on in the visiting half of the 7th. Pollard stretches, about a 2-step lead for Merritt. The pitch, breaking ball is a strike. The runner goes to second. The throw is off the third base side. And in there sliding safely is Merritt with a stolen base, but it's 1-2 now to McCutcheon. With Clint Allen on deck. Daniels finished his 6 innings with 10 strikeouts and 6 walks. And is the pitcher of record for Fort Morgan. Throw back to second. Well, they were able to get Elizabeth on that to end the game, but tough to do that in more than 1 game. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Schneider puts down the sign, the stretch by Pollitt, and the pitch. Swung on and lifted down the right side, and Anderson's going to make the catch in foul territory as the first baseman puts it away, and there's 2 down. Hit off the end of the bat, and that'll send up Clint Allen, who has reached on an error. He's walked and driven in a run with a base hit. Officially, he's 1 for 2. With Jeff Merritt at second. Interesting conversation there between Allen and third base coach. I don't know what he could tell him at this point. You're down by 5 with 2 down in the 7th. I'm sure just going to get up there and get a base hit. Pollard looks back. And the pitch. And that bounces in. Blocked by Schneider. 1 ball and no strikes. The Mustangs are 1 out away from winning the Colorado 7 league title for the 2nd straight season. The pitch. The breaking ball is over for a strike at the knees. And the count levels at 1-1. To Clint Allen. Pollard looks back. And the offering. Swung on and grounded left side. The shortstop Zwedzik is going to backhand. He's going to throw on the run. And it bounces by Wes Anderson. And scoring on the play is going to be McCutcheon. on the air by Zwedzig. And now taking off for third is Allen to throw, and that's late. Yeah, Zwedzig should have eaten that one. He wasn't going to get the speedy Allen there, but it turns out to be, it'll be a single and a base hit. No RBI. Now 7-3. And Allen all the way at third. Here's Manny Ledesma. He's 0 for 2. The pitch. And he did not check a swing and a breaking ball in the dirt. No balls and 1 strike. To Manny Ledesma. The wind and the pitch. The breaking ball looks pretty good. But apparently it missed in the strike zone. So now the count is at 1-1. That looks perfect from here, but must have been a little bit high. 1-1 pitch in the dirt, and it bounces away from Schneider. Here comes Allen to the plate on the wild pitch. He will score. And it's now 7-4. Well, the Blue Devils trying to make this interesting. Ledesma up there, 2 balls and 1 strike. Pollard ready. Wind in the offering. Swung on, grounded to third. Cosman has it. Cosman sets. Cosman throws. And the game is over. The Fort Morgan Mustangs have defeated the Fort Lupton Blue Devils 7-4 and won the Colorado 7 League title for the 2nd straight season. Let's take a break. A 2-minute break. We'll come back with a recap. Fort Morgan 7, Fort Lupton 4 on B106. And B106.com. Mustang post-game show brought to you by Buildings by Design. Knowing who you can trust to do a good job is the tough part nowadays, but when you hire Buildings by Design, you can trust you get the building you want when you want it. And the quality you deserve. Start your build project right with Buildings by Design. As the Fort Morgan Mustangs have won the game over the Fort Lupton Blue Devils 7-4, as Fort Lupton did come back with a couple of runs in the top half of the 7th inning. We'll recap the totals here momentarily. We do remind you that you can always follow us pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. And you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at KSIR Sports and at B106 as the Mustangs with a victory this afternoon improved to 9-0 in Colorado 7 league play, 12-5 overall. Fort Lupton 3-7 in league play, and now 5-12 on the season. Both teams have 2 games remaining as the Mustangs will be back in action coming up on Wednesday and Friday. And they'll take on the Englewood Pirates. We'll recap those times because there is a change from the regular schedule. For Fort Morgan, in this afternoon's game against the Fort Lupton Blue Devils, 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, 9 left on base. And for the Blue Devils, 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 6 left on base. The winning pitcher, Kyle Daniels, as he was able to muster 6 innings today. And Daniels was able to strike out 10. Through 101 pitches. He did walk 6, so was not on top of his game, but only allowed 2 hits. And the loss went to Isaiah Padilla. And the time of the game, 1 hour and 46 minutes. Here's how the scoring went, as the Mustangs would get on the board first against the right-hander Padilla. And in the bottom of the first inning, Reyes Rodriguez had an RBI single. It was 1-0 until the third. Jared Bohm with a 2-run double made it 3-0. Wes Anderson with a run-scoring single cut it to 4-2. 4-0, I should say. It was cut to 4-2, and Clint Allen got an RBI single in the 5th inning. Colton McCutcheon then stole home, but then the Mustangs countered with 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. T.J. Bauer scored on an error. Kyle Daniels actually touched home plate on a balk, and then Reyes Rodriguez with a second RBI single of the game, making it 7-2. Fort Lupton scored 2 runs in the top of the 7th inning, but to no avail as the Mustangs win the game. Once again, they'll play on Wednesday at Englewood. That'll start at 4:30 on B106 and B106.com. Then Friday, a week from today, they'll close out the regular season at home against Englewood. That will be a 4 o'clock start. Outstanding job, as always, by our sound engineer and producer, Michaela Klimper. I'm John Beltran. The final score, once again, from Fort Morgan, the Mustangs, the Colorado 7 League champions for the 2nd straight year, defeat the Fort Lupton Blue Devils 7-4 on B106 and on the World Wide Web at B106.com.